think that is done for them?
My brother, please, I think this topic, we will have to touch this one some other time. I have 2 IPOB guys waiting in the wings. What will happen is this:
Yes.
inbox me your number. Go to the page, you will see my number there. If you can connect, inbox me, tell me that issue, then I will add you. I'll give you my own number. When next I will host this type of program, I will invite you to come here and speak to us. Okay?
No problems. No problems.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Regards to your family.
You too. Bye.
Bye, bro. I don't want it to look as if we are running away from. Hello, good evening, brother Chidera.
Good evening. So,
yeah,
I
welcome.
visited your page for the first time. I visited your page for the first time today.
Okay.
And I actually saw it was shared by someone, and I came across your page and heard a couple of stuff you were saying. I went through your profile, saw a couple of stuff you were saying, which were mostly in reference to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the whole IPOB struggle and structure in general. And I also overheard you, because I wasn't here in the beginning of the broadcast.
Okay.
But towards the ending of the broadcast, I also had a caller also call and state certain stuff about why you were doing this and what your purpose was, why you were fighting Nnamdi Kanu, why you were, fighting IPOB. And you say that you were trying to expose that this is not a social media warfare, that you're trying to expose what you believe is behind the scenes. Then he also said, wouldn't you want freedom? Wouldn't you want Biafra? And you also replied that he shouldn't put words into your mouth, that you are not interested in Biafra, you are only interested in the development of Igbo land. Am I right?
Not really, not necessarily that I'm not interested in Biafra. I don't want Biafra. I'm telling you that there is nothing to show that is coming anytime soon. And any effort put into it is effort in futility. I've been open about it.
So now you just changed the words you said before, because clearly this wasn't what you said. But that's okay.
Hold on, please. You didn't get me. In fact, let me repeat what I've been saying since I started broadcasting on Facebook. Nigeria should be divided into 8 places. But when you look around, what will lead to it is not around there. There is nothing that will tell you that Nigeria is going to break in the next 10 years. So what you feel and what you want is different from the reality on the ground, because the people that is in their hands, the people in whose hands it is to create new states, are not going to let it happen. And this guy knows it, but he will not tell his people why. It's not financially beneficial to him to tell them that truth. So he will keep on telling them it is Biafra, it is Biafra. But as soon as the election starts coming up, you will see him strategizing, putting himself in certain places where he will be the driving force in that election. Whoever wins is not his business, it's who pays him most. Ask him if P2B and the Atiku campaign paid him or not. It's just a simple question.
If P2B and Atiku paid him, that's totally not my business. But this is referring to you and your ideology, which I'm actually going to chip in now. So you've explained your point. You've explained your point of view, and now my question to you is: you believe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu isn't doing the right thing to achieve Biafra? Then what are you doing towards achieving Biafra? Or you mentioned, you said right now that you believe that Nigeria should be divided into 4. That is not working. And the people in government.
8 at least. I said 8. 8 at least.
Okay, 8. Okay, my bad. 8. You said that Nigeria should be divided at least in 8. So you believe, because there's a difference now. You clearly is saying that you want Nigeria divided. That Nigeria as it is of today is wrong. It's not good. It's not functioning. It's not okay. And that you are in support of Nigeria divided into 8, right or wrong?
Brother, please, again, don't put words into my mouth, please. Nigeria, why I want Nigeria to be divided into 8 places is because when you divide it like when it's not too large, it will be easy to administer. But that is my own feeling. And what I think, that is totally different from reality on ground.
Okay,
so
Okay, you mean divided, but they will still be under the name Nigeria.
No, you didn't get it. Please, we are now playing a different game. We are not talking hypothetically now. Listen, Nigeria should be divided into 8 places, so it will be easy for people to run their affairs. It's not right that a citizen will spend with that. Let me say 90% of the citizens will spend 8 years and not meeting their president, not once.
So I get your point. So now let me repeat it again. You believe Nigeria should divide into 8 regions because it is way more better for them to govern themselves and to tackle their own businesses and their issues.
Of course.
Okay, so if you believe this, and according to what you are saying, Nnamdi Kanu fighting for, because Nnamdi Kanu has voicely and explicitly voiced out his opinion and said that he isn't just fighting for the liberation of Biafra, that he is fighting for the liberation of the Oduduwas, for the liberation of all the the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. He's fighting for, he's also gone far as mentioning, he's also fighting finally for the liberation of the so-called Fulani Janjaweed. Good, this is clear. This is up.
Please don't call people so-called, please. Say the Fulanis or the Hausas, and there are other ethnic minorities there too. Please don't use the word so-called when you are talking about a people, a nation. Please. They are being called Fulanis. Okay, I say Janjaweed, the so-called, because that's the terminology that is being used, the so-called Janjaweed. But I say the Fulanis. I didn't say so-called Fulani. So he has voiced out fighting for all these people. And from what you were saying, you were also saying that Nigeria should be divided into 8 regions, and you're also saying that Nnamdi Kanu, the way he's doing it is wrong. He's not doing it right. So what exactly are you doing to do it right if you believe that Nnamdi Kanu is not doing it right and correctly? My premise is not that he's not doing it right. He is not doing anything.
Okay, he's not doing anything exactly.
Yes. This is just noise making.
He's not. Okay, he's making noise. Good. So you believe, because this is not me believing now, this is you believe Nigeria should be divided. So what is your contribution and what is your plan in order to make Nigeria be divided into these 8 regions as you just mentioned, and making everyone be autonomous, rule themselves and govern themselves, their personal affairs, etc.?
It's not within my power to do that, and any effort towards that project is an effort in futility. That is what I want you to understand. Let me tell you how.
Okay. So you believe, now I get you even clearer. So you believe that Nigeria should be divided into 8 regions that could take care of their personal affairs, and you also believe that, not just believing that they should be divided, but any effort that is being put by anyone to divide Nigeria is totally useless and impossible.
Currently. Now, let me tell you why. Let me explain to you how. To have a new state, the Bank of International Settlements has to come in, the IMF, the World Bank, the same people who created all these artificial boundaries in Africa would have to be involved in it. But guess what? Those people have no incentive to divide Nigeria. Why? If they divide Nigeria that way, the way you think, they would have to divide other African countries, and doing that is not what you just sleep and wake up and do. You know why?
Yes, I already think I've already thought this through. I already know but I keep pinpointing it now. You keep saying this, and yes, okay. So you believing that these people, these so-called elites, these so-called powers are not in total accordance, and they will never agree or permit Nigeria to be divided because of what they are benefiting. So does that mean that you have given up, like you believe that since nothing can be done, these elites don't agree? That means you've given up and you've accepted defeat, and you've accepted to be slaves to their institutions and their creations.
Do you have a choice?
You have a choice to fight, and you have a choice. If you believe that you have a solution, You implement the solution. You know the truth. Now this is different. There's a difference between being a slave and a slave knowing that he is a slave, and a slave not knowing that he is not a slave. So if you know right now that you are a slave in the current Nigerian institution, in the current way Africa is being governed and ruled by the international bodies, the colonial masters, we all know this. If you know that you are a slave and you know the truth, what are you doing? You've totally given up. That is, from what you're saying, you've given up from what the due to the international bodies and everything. So you've given up because that's what you're trying to say.
Please, brother, spare me the talking points about being a slave and not knowing that you are a slave, because I'm not sure you know what slavery means from the angle you are coming from. Now, let me ask you, show me a single country since the Berlin Conference, since the Congo Conference divided Africa as we know it today. Show me a single country that was created without the support of these people. Show me one. I want to hear.
There is no country in Africa that was created without the support of the so-called powers. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Now, what makes you think, like, if you know international politics, you wouldn't even bring up the argument of these people ever allowing Nigeria to divide? Now, let me show you how they can allow you go. If you have a president in Nigeria tomorrow that tells these people, hey, the Bank of England, you are not going to be manipulating our currencies the way you are, our currency the way you are doing it. Hey, ExxonMobil, Shell, you are going to be paying us at the market price. Hey, this mining company, you have to leave. We have to. Hey, even Nigeria trading with the Chinese directly with Naira and RMB will divide that country tomorrow. Now, do you have a president who is powerful enough to tell those people to leave? The answer is no. Why?
Okay. Now let me answer your question. So from you've not answered my question, because the answer I'm taking is that. So before I go into answering your question, since you didn't answer my question, because you clearly are not.
Tell me the question, please. Hold on, please. You won't use that tactic on me. Tell me that question I answered, because we are still here. I'm not answering any other call. I want to.
I asked you didn't answer. The question I asked you was if you believe that none of these, like you believe that you being a slave, you know you are a slave in Africa, you know you were a slave in Nigeria, you know that these international bodies, you just asked me a question. Name a country that has been created without the support of this. Okay, good. All these international bodies created Africa wrongfully, mixing up people who have no cultural, religious difference, no traditional background, no anything. Oduduwa Nation is divided in Nigeria, Benin Republic, Ghana, and they are divided in. So a white man came, created the divided nations into divided a group of people, divided into different nations. After doing, excuse me, please, let me go. After doing all this, you are, from what you're saying that if an Oduduwa man decides now to fight and say no, he wants to reunite everything. From what you're saying that it is useless and that they don't have the power to do so because of these international bodies are not going to agree. Because you clearly mentioned now that any effort is futile.
Please hold on. I want to hold you on what you just said. You said that you talked about people without no background, cultural, whatever. Then you said the Yorubas, they are in Nigeria, they are in Benin. Do you know how many countries you find houses in West Africa?
Yes.
How many?
They are quite. The Hausas are located not just in Nigeria, but they're also located in Chad and in Niger. They are also located in these various. These are the ones I'm 100% sure of due to the research I have also done.
Please. In Ghana also. Now, since you agree with me that they are in Chad, in Niger, and I added Ghana also, I don't want to go to Burkina Faso. Please, doesn't that kill your original argument that there are people without a background and culture when you started mentioning the Yorubas being in Benin Republic? Doesn't that cancel your argument?
That doesn't cancel my argument. You said that now you just mentioned that the Hausas are in Ghana. But if we go deeper and study it, we will realize that the Hausas that are in Ghana are not indigenously Hausas, and they're most definitely migrate. Listen, that's what we call geography. That's what we call geography.
Hold on, please, hold on. I'm not, please, we are not going anywhere. So
okay, I'm here, no worries.
Please hold on now. You believe that the Hausas in Ghana migrated to that place, but the Yorubas in Benin Republic did not migrate to that place? Have you?
That's why this is where I was going to give you my reply. That's what we call geography. That's what we call geography. And in geography, there are people. When you find a settlement of people of culture, of who share the same culture, the same tradition, the same history, it's simple maths, okay? When you just come into a continent, for example, in Africa, and you find a bunch of like an ethnic nationality like Oduduwa or Igbo, all situated here in their millions and millions and millions, in a versatile area, totally united, not divided, totally united, and then a white man from Europe comes to Africa and said, if you just Google Oduduwa map, Google Oduduwa people, when he came and divided, it's very obvious, it's very evident. So you saying the Hausa people that we are in the north, and then you found some Hausa people in Ghana, there could be in Ghana, but they probably migrated, which is definite. That's the simple logic you could go through.
You are getting back, my brother, please. You are going back to the same thing you are denying. Hold on, please. So the Yorubas in Benin Republic, you can find them together doing whatever, like you explained. So you are telling me that the Hausas in Ghana are not like that?
That the Hausas in Ghana are not like what?
Like the same way the Yorubas are in Benin Republic, the Hausas in Ghana are not like that?
I'm not saying that they probably share this. They've probably been sharing now the same due to the ancient years and years of colonialism, and due to being bent and mixed up together. We don't live in Ghana. We don't know what.
I know what is in Ghana, please, my brother. I have Ghanaian friends.
Okay.
I will call them now. I will call them now, right now. They are here. There are many Ghanaians here, please.
Okay. Okay.
Please. What you just said now is exactly what I heard from Nnamdi Kanu yesterday, and it was just, this thing is just baloney. It's just bullshit. That
Go
argument,
on.
please, my brother, please. That argument holds no water. Please, I will suggest you go and learn the history, study the history of West Africa, not from Google. Please, study the history of West Africa. Where are you in now? The UK or United States?
I'm not in the UK, I'm not in the United States, I'm in Italy.
Please, ask Ghanaians around you. Please, I beg of you. Ask Ghanaians around you, then come back for this discussion. Meanwhile, continue with what you were saying. I'm listening.
So from what I was saying, the answer that the question that I gave you, I asked you if, just as the Oduduwas are in a group of people in a specific land territory being divided into 3 or 4 nations by a white man, and you are in agreement believing that nothing can be done because of the people who created and these various nations splitting different people of the same ethnic group into different nations did the right thing. Is this what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say that nothing can be done because you believe that since these people have the power that we cannot oppose them?
Please, again, you are putting words in my own mouth. You see this last question, if I tell you that I got it, and there is no way I will answer it without going to long stories, please make that question shorter, because you are making it seem as if I am comfortable with the way they made Africa. None of us, you and I, none of us were there when it happened. So I don't get where your question is going to.
My question is, you are not comfortable with the way Africa is. You know this is the truth. Good. And this is 1. 2, you know the state of Nigeria now. Igbos, bunch of other ethnic groups mixed up together. We don't share the same cultural heritage, the same beliefs, the same religious visions and everything. We are mixed up together. Is it good? Is it correct? And you totally clearly said here that it isn't correct, that Nigeria should be divided into 8 regions. And then let me continue. Let me continue.
Please let me answer that one. Again, you are trying to put words in my mouth. Let me tell you, when Ethiopia was ruling from the present day Ethiopia to the end of Atlantic Ocean, where you have Mali and Senegal today, when they were ruling, how many languages do you think were spoken within the territory of Ethiopia?
Probably many, because they were ruling different territories, they were ruling different people.
How many cultures do you think their territory covered?
So now you going into Ethiopian empire and Ethiopian territories that they conquered and everything. Now the question is, the same thing could be applied. The same thing could be applied to the Roman Empire. The same thing could be applied to the Roman Empire. Who conquered? Listen, the Roman Empire conquered almost the whole of Europe, Northern Africa. Now, why did the Roman Empire fail? The Roman Empire fell because the people. Now, I don't understand. I don't understand why you ask a question, and when I want to give you the reply, you don't allow me.
No. I am asking you a question because I want to use it to answer you. When you said that people with different cultures, different languages, and I'm trying to tell you that it is not the first time. Hardly you find a country that is homogeneous. Hardly you find a country that is homogeneous. But guess what? They still have a good place. They still find the way. They still find many ways, not a way, many ways to live with each other. Take for instance the Italy you are talking about. Italy don't used to be a country. No. Do you know that even till date, people from Milan, from northern Italy, they still have beef with Sicilians? Guess what? They are still in one country. That does not mean that most of them are comfortable with it, but there are things you can't change, and you only change them when the situation is right, when the time is right.
So now you mention Italy. This is literally where I live, so I can actually proudly tell you, yes, in the northern Italy, there is a movement that these are, if you know history, Venice was a big territory in the northern Italy. The Venetians are currently
There is nothing you will tell me about Italian history. Please, I understand where you're going.
Okay. They are currently in fight for their own independence in their own region. Now you comparing Italy to the current Nigeria. You say yes, the Northerners are always in contrast with the Southerners, but in contrast with what? What the reason why the Northerners are in contrast with the Southerners? And if you ask any Italian, if you come to Italy, you verify yourself. If you Google and simply ask, the reason is simply because the North believes that the South isn't working hard enough to contribute for the positivity and the economic growth of Italy. This is the reason.
That is Google, please. Again,
no,
that is Google.
How can you say it's Google when I live in Italy? I communicate with Italians. I live with Italians. I can go to my neighbor now and ask my neighbor.
Please. I'm teaching Turkish people to Ottoman history also, please. Now someone is from Italy. If you want, I can pull up a video here of somebody interviewing American citizens, and they don't even know where Mount Rushmore is. They don't even know things. Don't go and pick any Italian you see. What I'm telling you is a historical fact.
Okay. Now we're not being rational, because when I tell you the things that especially where I live, you don't even believe it. You want to impose your own point.
Please, why don't you let me give you my own view? Then you go and ask the person. How can you ask the person what you're saying when you've not even heard from me? Listen, please.
I don't even need to ask. I said, if you need proof, I call an Italian here, right? I live in northern Italy. I've lived here for over 10 years. I know the reasons why why is it that northern Italy is pushing for independence? Google it. They're pushing for independence. Ask yourself, where are the major cities in Italy? Major cities, you find Milan. If you go to Milan, where is Milan? In northern Italy. And the Northerners believe that they are the ones pushing the economy of Italy, and meanwhile the Southerners this is the contrast. But in Nigeria, we're not talking about economy pushing. We're talking about people in the north, Fulanis believing in Sharia, people that because of cow they kill. This is the contrast. You interview a northern scholar. you interview another scholar. You ask him if it is correct to rape a 6-year-old girl and marry her. He says yes. This is what Biafrans are fighting for. We don't share this in common. We don't.
Excuse me, please. I want to hold you back on that, Italy. The problem between Sicilians and northern Italians is not because of whether they work hard or not. Go and study Italian history, please. Now, go and check before even the Holy Roman Empire. Go and check how Rome rose and dominated the whole place. That problem you are seeing did not start 200 years ago. Neither did it start 1,000 years ago. I'm teaching you things that will make you feel embarrassed by the time you go and ask a historian.
You are literally talking with a student that's this thing you're saying now. The Roman, I studied all these at school. I know all the, and I'm telling you that if you bring and if you come, you keep saying this over and over, but you're talking with someone that lives in Italy.
Okay, excuse me, please. Tell me the people the Romans took power from. In Italy, in that your Italy. Tell me the people the Romans defeated last.
Okay, first things first, in Italy, there was nothing like Italy. There was nothing like in Italy. There were different kingdoms. In the south, you have the Sicilian kingdom, you have the kingdom of Naples, and in the south again, you have the ducat. Why do you keep doing this?
Please,
wow.
guys, can you just listen? Please? Hey, I expect you to call the Lombards. Okay? I expect you to call the Lombards. Again, guy, go study Italian history. You don't know anything about Italy. Are you ready to move? Oh.
How do you say I don't know Italian history when I'm telling you Italian history? When I'm telling you the history?
I don't care where you live. I don't care what
I'm telling you the history. I'm telling you the history of Italy. I told you before there was no Italy. There were different kingdoms, and now you think I should go and study Italian history, and I'm telling you.
I was the first to tell you that Italy wasn't a country before. Please go back to this video, and I'm telling you, you don't even know the last people the Romans defeated before they set up the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was not run by the whole Italy, people of Italy today. Okay, you don't even. Of course, it wasn't. Please, hold on. You are starting history maybe 500 years ago. I am telling you things that happened before the Roman Empire, before the Romans woke up. And when you are telling me Naples, there was nothing like Naples then. Please. There was nothing like Naples. Take it anywhere. Even Venice was not built by the time I'm telling you. Why you think so
now you going on with this point? What exactly does this have to do with the Northerners hating the Southerners? Just let me understand this.
Let me tell it to you now. Listen, that you have different cultures, different traditions within the same country is not a problem. It is not an issue. Let me tell you why I said so. Whether you are living with 10 different cultures, 20 different cultures, or one culture, when there is corruption in the society, you will keep up having problems, and people will be exploiting the tribal and ethnic differences. That is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is corruption. Forget about what people talk about unity. No. I don't care about unity.
Which I'm not doubting. I believe the problem, one of the problems of Nigeria is corruption. I am not that. You see, this is where I reason my topics. Okay, yes, corruption is part of the Nigerians' problem, and also another thing part of the Nigerians' problem is the people, the mentality between a South. Okay, now we keep saying this over and over and over and over again. Why is it? Why is it? Do you believe it is right for a Northerner who believes that a 6-year-old girl has the right to get married and have a kid? Do you believe it's right? Do you believe this is okay?
Please, hold on. What you are asking me now is something that is no, when you say 6-year-old kid, I don't know a single northerner that believes that a 6-year-old kid should get married to an. I don't know a single one.
There are videos of Muslim scholars being questioned, believing even if it's not 6 years, it's 9, 10, 11, underage kids having marital life, and this is a belief that just a second. This is a belief that is commonly shared with most northerners. Do you believe this is okay?
I don't believe that girls should get married before 27, by the way.
Good. Then, now, do you believe that it is okay in sharing the same nation with many people that believe in something like this?
Okay, do you actually know that in some places in the south, culturally, people can marry 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds? Do you know that it's happening in southern Nigeria?
Now you have to understand something. When things like this occur in the south, which I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to say, because I'm not 100% sure of everything. Yes, they do exist, but they just probably will be in their few hundreds or minimum thousands. But here, and they don't influence or make any big or major impact, and such beliefs are being washed away very quickly. But here we're talking about a group of millions and millions of northerners that believe in such thing. Come on. I need to at least come to a compromise with me.
So, John, excuse me. Now, how does me saying that Nigeria shouldn't, that there is no way Nigeria is divided in the next 10 years mean that I'm supporting such a thing? And have you seen the people in the north talking about against child marriage? Have you ever seen those people?
There are people that do talk against child marriage, but
like how many groups do you think there are in the north?
How many groups of what?
How many groups do you know that are fighting against child marriage in northern Nigeria?
I have no clue.
Because you are not researching. Because you are not. Please, hold on. This is an Islamic culture, not a northern Nigerian culture. Remember. This is an Islamic culture.
Excuse me. Yes, Islamic culture, but you have to understand that religion is that's like coming to the south now and saying people behaving a certain way have nothing to do with their religion. You cannot separate their religious beliefs from them, and this is also part of the reason why we cannot be one as a nation.
Please. Now, what has that got to do with independence? Now you are telling me, hold on, since you are in Nigeria, has any northerner come to marry your 10-year-old sister?
No northerner has come to marry my 10-year-old sister, but we do have northerners that come to our land and rape our kids and commit crimes and kill our women. And I am so totally not comfortable with that. Northerners going into our farmlands, burning our bushes, raping our women. We don't do this because you can kill a cow. You can kill a cow of a Fulani man. He kills 10 people in your family. And their leaders, now understand, their leaders, the so-called leaders of, now please, let's be rational. Just imagine and
hold on, please. I want to ask you a question from what you just said now. Please, in the last month alone, how many people were killed by herdsmen in the south, and how many were killed by herdsmen in the north?
Wow, wait, you're literally talking like what is his name? Lai Mohammed has said before there is 10 kills. Usually under good luck regime there is 100 kills, but now there is like very few kills. One person's death means millions. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100. So you saying how many were killed in the north and how many are killed in the south? Excuse me?
Please excuse me. Hold on, you excuse me too. That is one question that none of you wants to answer. You are not telling me that I'm sounding like Lai Mohammed. So what? Sounding like Lai Mohammed is, please. It's subjective. Hold on. It's very subjective. What do you mean by I'm sounding like Lai Mohammed? Does it mean that more people were killed in the south last month than in the north? Is that the argument
It
you're trying to
doesn't, it doesn't matter if more people were killed in the south or in the north, but people were killed in the south. If people were killed in the south due to a belief that due to a belief that we Igbos, we Southerners, we Biafrans have already evolved and passed through, but the Northerners still have this belief of cows, and if you kill the cows and they come into your land, what's the point?
No. You are dodging this question. Please hold on. Now let me make my point. If those people are killing more Northerners than Southerners, doesn't that make it a general issue and not a Southern issue that should be tackled?
If it could be a Southern issue, it could be a Northern issue, but due to the fact that these people have this belief, you
are not honest. You are not an honest person. No. You are not honest. You are
listen. It could be. Listen. For it happening in the south, for it happening in the north. I have always said yes. This is an issue, surely. But who are perpetuating these issues? Who? The Northerners. Does that make us compatible together?
Please, excuse me. No one is doubting that herdsmen are killing people. Now I am asking you, because you people always make this argument that they want to kill the whole Southerners and turn everywhere to an Islamic society. And I'm asking you, how many people are they killing in the north and how many people are they killing in the south? That's just a simple question. And you don't want to answer it. Let me answer it for you. Last month it was 2. Meanwhile, in 2 days, they killed over 200 people in 3 northern states. Now, why would you?
Okay. You believe in that last month it was 2 in the south is a big lie, because I would not be biased. I wouldn't say that I have a clear and 100% number of the people that were killed in the south. But I've heard rumors, I've seen videos, I've seen people killed, even if they weren't killed, excuse me, sir, even if they weren't killed this month, they were killed last month. People were killed, people are still being killed.
Excuse me, please. What about the people that were killed in the north that same month? It's just simple. Please use another device you have there to show me those pictures. You said you heard. You are probably listening to only one source of information.
Okay, that is your assumption, but you got to listen. My point, I keep specifying my point over and over. I keep specifying my point over and over again. Who are the people perpetuating this wrong? Who are they?
Who are the people being killed more? Who are they? Who are the people being killed more?
Wow.
Who are the people being killed more? How many villages in the south? How many villages in the south do you have their people in IPP camp?
So what you're trying to say is, as long as in your compound, Hausa man hasn't killed anybody yet, you are not bothered until they come and kill, then you understand.
I knew it will come to this. Are you seeing the cheap arguments you people always make?
What do you mean cheap? What do you mean cheap? I can tell you that I saw a picture of a woman butchered. That one woman alone is enough. It's enough. There are probably more than 100 of them being. I keep here every day. We hear. I live when I was in Aba. Because I grew up in Aba. When I was in Aba, I keep hearing about. We lived near Fulani where they have their cow. They call it a slaughterhouse. When I was in Aba, because I lived in the city, they had this place called Slaughterhouse, and around that area, that every time I keep, as a kid, then tension about we go out, as a kid, my parents, they be saying the people that were killed and were butchered by the but then ask yourself one question: why is it, since the history of Nigeria, why is it that it has always been one particular group and sect of people that have been causing fear and terror, killings in Nigeria? Why is it that I'm not saying Igbos don't kill, I'm not saying Yorubas don't kill, but why is it one particularly is majorly involved in these killings, and due to one their beliefs, their religious belief? Who are Boko Haram? Who are Boko Haram?
Hold on, please. Again, you are going back to the place you are running from, and you wanted to say something. You said one person killed in the south. I'm happy you did not complete that statement, because I wouldn't have been happy with you, because a life in the south and a life in the north is the same thing. Now,
exactly.
Please hold on, please. Can you hold on? You are telling me that people have been killing this and now, when their number one victims are their own people, I want to understand what the point you are driving at. When the people, please, when the people they are killing most, there is no single town in the southeast that is deserted as a result of terrorism right now. But there are local governments in the northeast and northwest where the people, maybe 90% of the place has never been inhabited since 2014 or 2013.
So now, if you understand this, that I keep saying the fight for IPOB and the fight for Biafra has always been for the liberation and for the independence of ethnic nationalities. In the north, please understand this. There isn't just one tribe in the north. Just don't forget the fact that we are always referring Fulani Hausa, Fulani Hausa. There isn't only one tribe in the north. There isn't either two tribes in the north. So you saying, why is it that the people killed in the south are almost equivalent, very few, which is, if one person dies, it's still many. And you saying that, why is it that they're killing themselves more? What do you mean themselves? Who is themselves? Do you know that there are lists of ethnic nationalities that are in the north and who are victims of this Fulani herdsmen's killing? Do you understand this?
Excuse me. No, you brought about the herdsmen's killing, the killings by all those bandits. And I'm telling you that those bandits are killing more people in the north than in the south. Is that true or false? Please, I want to hear it from you.
True. Now, it's true.
Now, please. Now, doesn't that negate the argument that they are there to kill us and take over the whole place and turn it to an Islamic state? Doesn't that negate the argument?
That doesn't negate the argument. Now, understand this. In a state called Kogi State, because they said you don't need, a Tato said you don't need something to happen to you before you learn. You learn from the experience of other people. The Igalas we know today, the Igala, we can take even Ilorin. We can take the Ilorin. If they can take Ilorin, for example, their own Ata of Igala, at the Ata of, because this is common history, you can do a very quick research on it. The Ata of Igala was killed. Well, when he committed suicide actually, because the Fulani invaders came to the land of the Igala land and told him to bow down to their emir, to their sultan, whatever Fulani beliefs they have. Excuse me. The Ata of Igala refused. He committed suicide. He died. Today, if you go to Igala land,
excuse me, were you there when this thing happened? Who told you the thing? Where did you get it from?
I heard the story from a direct Igala man.
You heard the story from a direct Igala man without any evidence.
Excuse me. So if an Igala man said the story and it was confirmed by my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
My brother, that is the more reason you should be very, very careful. When
so
you hear
are you doubting? But are you doubting this fact? Because if you say it's not true, if you provide me with evidence and fact, I surrender. You see, I reason with logic. If you say it's not true,
excuse me, please. You are submitting that, so you need to show me the evidence. The onus is not on me to show you the evidence. It's on you to show me the evidence. Where did that happen? Who is that man? Who else was there when that thing happened, please?
Okay. So now I'll assume that you don't know this history. So if you can excuse me, later on after this broadcast, I could send you some historical facts that you could go through and learn about it.
another device. No, use another device now, and send it to me. I will call my number to you right now. Use another device now, and send it to me. I want to end it here.
That's what we call research. If you need to provide facts from sources that are credible, you need to do a complete and correct research. So I just can't in the middle of 2 minutes, 3 minutes get you some.
You are looking at a researcher. If you've researched something before, you will know exactly where to get it when next you need it. You don't have that fact. You are just repeating what this guy is feeding you.
You see, this is the point. This is the point. You are not even. I said something. If you believe it's wrong, you fact check me. You fact check me if I'm wrong.
No, you have to show me the evidence. Then I'll fact check the evidence. Give me the evidence.
If I tell you my great grandfather was an Igala man and he was there and he sent this, he told the story. He told the story to my son.
It doesn't count. You have to show me the evidence. Then I will fact check it.
It doesn't matter if I could show you the evidence if I have my time to do my I get my time. I don't do researches in 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
I have another caller. Let me take the person's call now. Get the evidence and bring it to me. We are here waiting for you. Okay.
That's your you see, this is your belief and this is how you want to cut the whole beliefs and everything. But meanwhile, the questions that I asked you, you clearly don't want to answer it. You believe Nalikan is doing it wrongly. You believe Nalikan is doing it wrongly, and now you're trying to base your own on Igala history. You're trying to base your own on Igala history.
Tell me the single question I didn't answer, please. Tell me one. A single question I didn't answer. Tell me one.
Ajujum Jorogewo. Obuna Nnamdi Kanu na mayor former. If Nnamdi Kanu isn't doing it correctly, and you believe that Nigeria as it is today should be divided in 12 regions, and you believe that these so-called international bodies who have the power to divide Nigeria don't agree on it, what exactly could you do to bring this your belief into manifestation?
No, please. Let me repeat what I said before. Maybe you didn't hear me very well. Now pay attention. I will use just 1 minute to explain it. What I believe is different from reality, just like what you believe. What you want is different from what you can get, just like what I want is different from what I can get. Now, having told you that, let me tell you what I think should be done. Every energy should be directed at our governors, the people who are running our affairs. When you want to host an occasion in your village now and you want to block the road, where do you go to get permission?
You go to the government. You go to the government. So, anyways, I've already understand where you're channeling to. I've already understood where you're channeling to. You're not going to tell me what you're going to do. But now, just to summarize everything and end the call.
Your question. You are not allowing me to answer your question, no, please.
Because you are not telling me what you're going to do. You keep on saying the different things and over and over and over again that you've already said before.
I'm driving at. No. Now let me finish it for you. You go to your local government to get that authorization. What does that tell you? That the person who should be in charge of your road is your local government chairman.
Yes.
Now, please, I'm coming now. Now, how do we make that local government system to work first? That is where the mission should begin. And if
what is your own contribution into this, your mission, you believe? Have you started doing anything into this thing you mentioned now? Are you doing anything concerning it?
Of course, and we are many in numbers.
I wonder under what organization are you fighting for your beliefs and for your?
Does it really have to be under an organization? Please.
So if someone is to voluntarily work with you or to know what more about your doing your whole and so how can we get any memo of what your whole work and your job and everything is all about? How can we know exactly?
Please, you stay on the page. You check in every time, especially when it's election season. And what I am saying is a view shared by many Nigerians. In fact, shared by more Nigerians. than the number of people who want to break the country. Believe me.
Okay. Okay. That's your belief. So, to all those listening that still have doubts on Nnamdi Kanu's methods and his ideology, and I'm going to give a very quick summary of everything and the whole strategy of IPOB. Okay. So from everything I've understood and from everything I've learned so far, it is all first instating a strong media. A strong media. In a situation whereby we have our own media, we have BBC, we have every newspaper carrying our news, we have Al Jazeera, we have many different newspapers carrying our news and portraying to the world what exactly is going on in Biafra land. Is a plus, because the Nigerian government is totally not in accordance with it and wouldn't want anything going on in Biafra land to be exposed to the world. If you need proof, a proof has always been presented. You can easily tell the special advisor to Buhari has made the speech already, stating the work that IPOB has been doing, not just for Biafrans, for Christians, and for how much IPOB have been paying and contributing for everything. So someone will tell you this is fake news. Someone will tell you this is that. These are all facts. So one, having installed a strong media, having installed it, because media is power. Having installed, excuse me, when I finish telling you everything, I'm almost done. You can then ask me a question. Having installed a strong media, you then go into international relations. International relation. The doubting Thomasis will ask you, where has Nnamdi Kanu gone? Who has he met? What has he signed? He said he went here. He said he went there. Good. He's been to places. He's been to places. I repeated it 3 times. He's been to places. He has met officials. He's met officials. He's done necessary things, and he is still doing necessary things for the liberation of Biafra. From what you were saying, sir, saying that the only way Biafra could break off from Nigeria is only from the Nigerian government, or maybe the president getting into power, getting the president, and all the other political. Yes, it is also a way. But when you realize that the people in power are not willing to do so, what do? You seek international. You seek international assistance. And how do you seek international assistance? By with the media, and with also the diplomatic relations you have with the external bodies. That's how you get it. So for all those having questions concerning this stuff,
please, can you show me the bodies, please, my brother, please? You see all these things you just said. You just ran straight across the hall. Listen, please, can you tell me the international bodies in Nnamdi Kanu met, please?
So from what you're saying, you're probably you're not following, or you are not either in a close ties with Nnamdi Kanu, and you're not in close ties with what he's doing. So one thing's for sure, and Nnamdi Kanu has always specifically said it, he alone knows how he will do it. And now they say there's an Igbo adage that says, but I do not specifically say it in Igbo, but you can be able to tell the fruits of someone's labor based on the fight he is fighting. The fight he is fighting for Biafra, how will you know if he's yielding any fruit? Based on what the Nigerian government are doing, based on how they are shaking, based on how their reports are. When they keep fighting for straighten IPOB organization, they know that what Nnamdi Kanu is doing, they know what IPOB is doing is causing issues. If you believe IPOB is not yielding any fruit, why is the government fighting IPOB?
No. The government is not fighting IPOB. You know what? Many people are making money from the government, working, telling them that they are monitoring IPOB. Let me tell you what you don't know. And please, let's get back to what you were saying. Tell me the international bodies in Nnamdi Kanu met, and you're telling me that only he knows. Now, if he is the only one that knows, that means he is lying to you. And the officials you said he met, he hasn't met any single person of value. Okay.
If you have any, if you have any, you know, saying is different. If you have proof he hasn't met anybody, then you can clearly present. You know, there's something that goes on. There's something that goes on. There's something that goes on in this life, man. There's something that goes on. When somebody is fighting for something, he is pushing for it. If you believe that what he's doing is not wrong, present proof.
Please, my brother, please. So it is my duty now to tell you whether not to show you proof that Nnamdi Kanu didn't meet anyone, or is it on Nnamdi Kanu to say, when I went to the European Union, I met Manuel Barroso, or I met Donald Tusk, or I met Martin Schulz.
He can't tell you. He can't tell you who he met. Listen, that's what we call confidential meeting. When you go into confidential meetings, there are some information you cannot disclose due to who we are fighting. We are fighting a whole Nigerian government. We are fighting the whole Nigerian government who have a budget of over 30 billion US dollars. You cannot compete. You cannot believe that Nnamdi Kanu will make public all his sessions and all his every meetings, everything he's done. He can't make that public because the people, the officials he's met, could easily be bought up. Could easily be bought up.
Brother, please. Legally, you cannot meet a lobbyist or a sitting official of the United States secretly. You know why? The person will be breaking. The person will be breaking the Logan Act. Okay. The person will be
you secretly is I don't mean secretly. What I mean is the information and the information disclosed between them is confidential and cannot be made public. There's a difference between meeting secretly and disclosing confidential informations.
So, my brother, you actually believe that Nnamdi Kanu has been meeting people on behalf of Biafra and they are
yes, I believe. And if you ask me why do I believe so, because the fruit of his labor, the pressure he is mounting on Nigeria, we can see it. We can see it.
My brother, please, nobody is mounting any pressure. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why Shehu made that comment, and I'm so sad to say it because that Nnamdi Kanu is a copycat. He may go and copy it tomorrow. Now, Shehu made that comment because of that statement that boy made at a rally, at a Black Lives Matter rally. And back to what you said before, that Nnamdi Kanu made them talk about the Christians. Please, the people that did it are the people at the Lower Niger Congress. Nnamdi Kanu had no hand there. He was not even invited there. He was not even called. His name is not even in the paper. The names of the people that worked towards that thing, their names are on the page. Go there, you watch them. He never contributed taking to it. Are you hearing me? Now,
yes, I hear you.
You see, when they are telling you that everything is just for him, is because he is running a personal business. All those things about confidential information, all those are just to throw you off the trail. He is meeting no one. He is meeting no one. He hasn't met a single person. Let me tell you, please, my brother, all those places, when you have a meeting with all those people, they are all documented. You see, when they say confidential information, this and that, my dear, I have handled classified information before. In case you don't know, maybe you think I'm just a Facebooker. I've handled classified information. I have been with people who get classified briefings. That one is a foul. It's not true. He has met no one. He is not working with a single person. If he is meeting any people, they will be shouting, they will be trumpeting it from the rooftop. See what they are doing to these people, see what they are doing to that people. And LNC were able to get there because they were talking about Christians. In my previous video, I've told them why LNC were able to get into that place. It has nothing to do with Nnamdi Kanu. And if he keeps on repeating that thing, just know that he has proven himself once again to be a criminal. He thrives on a stolen valor.
You keep now you mentioned Imran Khan had nothing to do with it, despite he publicly posted a letter that he sent to the U.S. government, which we're totally gonna ignore that because that wasn't also anything.
Please, my brother, please. Who sent a letter to the U.S. government?
Nnamdi Kanu on the IPOB organization.
Do you know that I can send a letter to the U.S. government? Was the letter? Wait, please, my brother. Was the letter?
Wow. When you talk though, let me talk though. So that's okay. You can send letter. These are all hypotheses. Great. Now,
no,
in order to come. I provide. Now this is truth. The Nigerian government mentioned his name. The people they're showing that the pressure IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu is mounting on Nigeria is affecting them. Not more than one occasions they have mentioned Nnamdi Kanu and his own issues and everything. If you believe that it was LNC, that made the move for the United States government to make that speech and that statement pressing the Nigerian government concerning the killing of Christians, what is so difficult for whoever Tony Nnadi and the LNC met to publicly come up, because you believe nothing is confidential, because you believe that any meet, why don't they publicly come out and say the Nigerian government is wrong for saying this is not IPOB, this is under LNC? Why isn't there the people that the LNC have met, they believe they have done anything with, why don't they publicly come up and say they had no affiliations with the IPOB, they got nothing?
Please, they have to, because Nnamdi Kanu is a no one in international politics. Do they really have to? They don't have to do it because
they don't have to do it, but why don't they at least come and defend the LNC that made the claims to them? Why don't the LNC, because this is a game of facts. This is a game of facts. If you believe Nnamdi Kanu didn't do anything, and he's claiming glory with he claims he's working with Nigerian government and everything, why don't the people LNC met in America to come out and kuchitelu unde LNC? The people that what IPOB.
Now, why would they elevate Nnamdi Kanu with a glorious reply? Why would they do that? He said nobody. They don't have any reason to do it.
They don't necessarily have to mention Nnamdi Kanu. All they have to say, in partnership with the LNC organization, due to the reports made or filed by the LNC, all they need to do is mention that. They don't even need to mention IPOB now. Just with the reports made by the LNC organization, blah blah blah, we believe the persecutions of Christians is wrong. That's all that is needed. You know this, I know this. So if we keep believing on the conspiracies that Nnamdi is not doing this, meanwhile everybody's seeing the pressure is putting on Nigeria, and still we are not hearing anything from LNC or anything. So it's a game of beliefs. See to believe.
My brother. The real conspiracy is you believing that Nnamdi Kanu is doing anything for you, that he's meeting people secretly. He is meeting no one. Take it from me.
How can it be a conspiracy when Garbashew even posted it, mentioned IPOB? I saw it with my 2 eyes. How can it be a conspiracy? How can it be a conspiracy? How can it be a conspiracy when his house was invaded, 29 people killed? He was going to be killed. Now you keep mentioning he's in abroad. His family members are in abroad. After you even mentioned his sister is in the police force. How can he be fighting for Biafra? His sister is the police force. Does not the kind of have pilot the affairs of his sister? If his sister is in support of one Nigeria, is not the kind of have the power to force? Does he force anybody? You keep mentioning that Nnamdi is in abroad fighting for Biafra. He's not in Nigeria. If Nnamdi is in abroad fighting for Biafra, when not in Nigeria, is it out of his choice that he went abroad, or didn't you know that his house was invaded, people were killed, the videos are there, but you will say now, what videos? People that are there are not real, right? People were killed. It was shown his house was invaded. Why would the Nigerian government invade his house to kill him? Why do
you people, please, why do you people keep jumping from one question to another, from one topic? Please, when did I say that the people that were killed there were not real? Did I make that comment?
You didn't make the comment, but you might eventually make the comment because you're literally saying that Nnamdi Kanu fight. You're literally saying that Kanu is fighting in abroad. Meanwhile, he's supposed to be in Nigeria. Meanwhile, you know people were killed in his land. People came to his house to kill him. And
please, what has that got to do with people? The people who were killed being real or not? What has this got? What is the? I want to know the correlation between the two words now, please.
This is an hypothesis when you because you are literally saying that Nnamdi Kanu, you're literally saying that Nnamdi Kanu is supposed to be in Nigeria fighting. So obviously you are totally ignoring the fact that people were killed. That's why I said maybe you might believe that people were not even really killed. Who knows? So if you believe, okay, you believe that they were really killed, it's okay.
Hold on. You heard when I said that Nnamdi Kanu is not in Nigeria. Then you didn't hear where I said that he allowed innocent people to be killed and he ran away. You didn't hear that one. So you didn't hear from the beginning when I was, see, everything I'm doing here is just for the people that are wasting their lives, okay? So why would you even as I'm going to say that people, when I've not even said it? You see, if I didn't bring please. If I didn't bring
so were you there? Were you there? Were you there when those innocent people were killed? Were you there? What if those innocent people prefer to have their leader alive to fight another day, and they prefer to give their own life for the cause of this Biafra? Were you there? That's the question I'm asking. Because you said that he preferred, as if he put gun to their head, say all of you must stay and die. As if the country is forcing people to go out and protest. People, as if he's forcing anybody. Is he forcing anybody? He isn't pointing gun at anybody. He isn't forcing you. He isn't threatening you. These people are doing it out of their own heart, out of what they believe.
Let me ask you one question. How many pastors point a gun to your head to make you give them tithe and offering?
To make me a?
How many pastors point a gun at your head to make you give them tithes and offering?
No pastor pointed gun to my head, and I give tithe and offering if I have and if I believe that I can give, I give.
Okay. Do you know why you're giving the tithe?
I pay tithes to the church because it's mentioned in the Bible.
When the Bible has done the work for the pastor, have you seen that the pastor don't really need to put a gun to your head?
And because in the also Bible it also stated that you should give, and we knowing that the church is an organization meant to help the society, meant to help the people, and that the tithes and the offerings we pay, the tithes and offerings we are paying, we are not paid so that they send them to God in heaven. They are sent, they are paid in order to help the poor and the needy.
This is what you were told, right?
Which is true, morally true. You don't need to be taught that. You don't need to be taught that you paying in order to contribute for the welfareness of others is wrong. You don't need to be taught this.
I will end the argument there. Thank you, my brother, for your wonderful contribution. Thank you so much for stopping.